Good afternoon. So, first of all, to start off my talk, I'd just like you to imagine one aspect of the future in your head. Do you have it? Raise your hand if you have it. Okay, so on the count of 3, I want you to say it out loud. 3, 2, 1. All right, so that many of you may think of flying cars are like from this table. Apparently, they think there's going to be flying turtles or artificial intelligence. Let me just go straight ahead and tell you that all of you people are totally wrong. I would like to ask you to pay close attention to the 5 images that I'm going to show to you on the screen. So this is a world without natural resources, where a majority of the world lives in poverty with minimum comfort. This is a world ravaged by war, where as weapons grow deadlier, the population shrinks and the environment suffers. This is a world filled with poverty, and these 2 images on the right show a destroyed world and a dystopia without any progress. So, the catch is that all of these things have one thing in common. And no, it is not global warming, nor is it high tensions in between countries, but it is actually a world without space exploration. My name is Zack, and I'm here to show you why space exploration is absolutely necessary for a future. So now many of you may be scratching your heads and thinking, like, why does this have to do with space exploration? How does this have to do with space exploration? So even if this does seem absurd, stick with me, and I'm going to show you how closely connected this is with humanity's future. And taxpayers that feel like spending money on space is a total waste of time and money that you could be using for your family, let me show you how your tax money is worth it, even if sometimes they aren't the most ideal thing to do. I know there are some of you there. So my first reason why continued space exploration is vital is that space exploration has been critical in the progress of technology. According to interestingengineering.org, space exploration has directly caused the inventions of memory foam, baby formula, athletes' blankets, artificial limbs, water purification, firefighting equipment, and many more inventions. As seen over here, there are over 43,000 patents that have been a result of these past half century of space exploration. So as space exploration continues, these inventions will start benefiting everyday people. And since the beginning of time, we've always strived to make progress. So when this spirit is as important as ever, why do we still protest space exploration? It is true that space exploration is risky and is very expensive, but still, why object one of our primary methods of progress and inventing technology? This does not make sense. The same people who want to gain ground are objecting one of our only choices to be able to do this. Anyways, my point is that space exploration can benefit you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, etc. in your everyday life. Think of your life right now. You use GPS every single day of your life. So could you imagine if we stopped making inventions such as these that can benefit your life so much? In fact, 35% of the inventions in the world in the past 50 years come from or are related to space exploration. Medical progress has also been made in space, with scientists working to lengthen your life and upgrade your quality of health. In conclusion, space exploration can contribute a lot to your life and can also upgrade your health. Next is international cooperation. Tensions around the world are growing, and each country is taking steps to set themselves up as superior. as this tension builds up, we need to find a way to lower these tensions so they don't rise to a certain point. Or else we could have world wars where not only millions of people die, but where the environment could almost completely be destroyed. Therefore, just like the 15 countries that collaborated to build the ISS, space exploration is one of our only methods of encouraging collaboration rather than hostility. If we waste our time and money doing silly proxy wars, we're missing out on chances to help fight climate change or fund other programs such as world hunger. According to Atlantic Council, as space becomes more and more entwined with the global economy and geopolitical competition, humanity risks abandoning the spirit of cooperation and extending the conflicts of Earth to the stars. So, projects such as the ISS are necessary for keeping peace and achieving collaboration. For example, after the Cold War, tensions between the USA and the new Russian Federation were rising, so the ISS, or International Space Station, was built to lower these tensions between the countries and help encourage peace. Since we humans are explorers, our goal is to build up to our objective regardless of gender or race. And basically, without these projects that encourage peace and collaboration, the world would basically be like the plot of Avengers Infinity War. So, spoiler alert. So some world leader, which is Thanos, launches nukes or declares war. Okay. And the world has nuclear war, which is half of the universe gone. So speaking of threats to our existence, let's turn our attention to asteroids. Now, many of you may think that safeguarding our planets from these giant rocks is unimportant because they're very unlikely, right? It is true that these are very unlikely, but the thing is that you probably think of it as a matter of if it's going to hit us rather than a matter of when it's going to hit us. But the truth is it's actually a matter of when it hits us, because asteroids have hit Earth several times in the past, and each has caused mass extinction every single time. The asteroid's impact will be disastrous and fatal. The asteroid will smash into Earth at around 30,000 miles per hour, which is equivalent to a 1 million megaton bomb. So just imagine 20,000 New York City metropolitan areas. So to put this into perspective for you, the most powerful nuclear bomb ever created, the Tsar Bomba, was about 50 megatons. So now imagine 20,000 of those bombs. This would definitely be the end of the world as we know it. However, even if this is unlikely, there's always a chance that this will happen. So we must continue investing in space exploration so we can continue funding a robust and flexible space program that can deflect such a large object. However, asteroids are not all bad. There's a revolutionary, game-changing plan that could impact our economy in the most extreme way. I'm talking about asteroid mining. By going to an asteroid to get our resources, we could be able to gain every single resource that has been so scarce in our past decades. So, in the asteroid belt, there's an abundance of metal-rich asteroids, such as Psyche 16, which contains extremely high amounts of iron, gold, platinum, copper, cobalt, iridium, and rhenium. According to Global News, if the 200-kilometer wide body could somehow be transported back to our planet, Dr. Elkins Tantans, who is the lead scientist of the Psyche 16 mission, has calculated that the iron alone would be worth 10,000 quadrillion US dollars. In comparison, the gross world product, or GWP, in 2015 was only $73.7 trillion. Such a high amount of rare metals would probably instantly crash the value of all these resources and would probably cause a huge crisis in the global economy. However, if we send in a slow influx of these resources, it could potentially give us an almost infinite amount of these resources that have become so scarce in the past few decades. We don't even have to go as far as the asteroid belt. There are a lot of NEAs, or near-Earth asteroids, that could be mined as well. So my last point is colonization. After all this talk about asteroids smashing into the Earth and global war, I bet that a lot of you probably figured that this was gonna be coming. So, as the threat of climate change and overpopulation looms on the horizon, we need to start finding a new planet. Well, not soon, but we do have to find a new planet. Now, many of you may say that this will not happen soon, but it will happen much earlier than you think. Global warming is estimated to have its most severe consequences in approximately 80 years, and overpopulation is a rising problem, literally rising as I speak. As mentioned before, an unlikely timing of an asteroid could also be a great option for a doom as well. So now our objective should be to preserve our civilization as long as we can. In November 2013, astronomers reported, based on Kepler space mission data, that there could be as many as 40 billion Earth-sized planets orbiting in the habitable zones of sun-like stars and red dwarfs in the Milky Way, 11 billion of which may be orbiting suns, which are like ours. As the end draws closer and closer, we need to invest more in space exploration so we can help create a backup for humanity no matter what happens to Earth. However, this would probably take a long time and a lot of resources, but if this does happen, colonization is necessary to ensure human survival. Hopefully we can also make room for animals and plants as well. After all, we can't survive without them. Now that I have shown you some of the many reasons why we should explore space and why it's necessary, I would like to answer a question that's important to my talk. Why do we explore space? So what about the reasons that I stated above? What makes space exploration relevant to you and me? What makes this last message that I'm going to share with you our next generation? Since the beginning of time, we've always looked up the night sky and wondered what could be up there in that incredibly vast expanse of darkness. We have always been fueled by this never-ending passion of exploring and pushing our boundaries. Therefore, I would like to ask you one question. Why do you think we have pushed our boundaries? And why do you think we have risked our lives only to gain a minuscule amount of knowledge? The answer is that we humans are still trying to quench our thirst for knowledge and trying to fulfill our curiosity. You can simply do this and promote space exploration by just educating yourself on space exploration or by writing letters to your local governor. Our goal as explorers is to go to the links of the Earth and even out of it. But when we arrive at the place where we first started, to see it like we are seeing it for the very first time. Our goal should also be to not only look outside of the box, but to look outside of the Earth. We are explorers, and all of civilization has been built on this factor of discovering the unknown. We are explorers, and that is the thing that nothing can take away from us. We are explorers, and that's what makes us human. Thank you.